So as mentioned in a previous video, his next film, which will be his last film, as he's retiring from directing movies after his 10th film, is The Movie Critic, following a film critic who reviewed films for a porno mag in the 1970s. The script is done, Brad Pitt was attached to star, and the movie was set to start filming very soon. Well, all of that is now out of the window, as Tarantino will not be making The Movie Critic anymore. The film has been dropped. According to Deadline, Tarantino simply decided to change his mind about making the movie. This is pretty interesting news. Some Tarantino fans will be disappointed, but of course others will be thrilled, as those who didn't like this movie idea will now ponder on what exactly Tarantino's final film will be about. The possibilities are endless. There's loads of ideas he's had, as we explored in the previous video. You know, to be honest, Quentin seems to be unnecessarily making things difficult on himself. If I can just put my armchair critic glasses on, the man has set himself an arbitrary number of films, saying he'll make 10 and then he's out, because he doesn't want to reach the stage where he's past his prime and is old and is making bad films, as he claims other veterans have done. And he doesn't want that fate. He's often spoken about his filmography and seems obsessed with the idea of having a perfect set of films on his resume. This thinking is flawed on many levels. Firstly, his filmography isn't perfect. He made Death Proof, which was a misfire. Secondly, and I know I might be in the minority here, but I'd argue he has reached the stage where his films have declined in quality. Yes, they're good, but the films he made in the 90s were his best movies, and since the death of his editor, Sally Menke, his films have had major editing issues. Thirdly, he might consider Kill Bill one movie, but audiences had to pay 2 tickets, so he's already made 10 films. And ultimately, why limit yourself intentionally? If you've got a good movie idea, you've got a good movie idea, whether it's your 10th film or your 50th. In 10 years, is he going to get a good idea and then say, I can't make that movie because I already made 10 films? It's pointless. Nobody is forcing him to make 10 films except himself. Just make what you want, Quentin. He's part of a handful of directors who can get a blank check in Hollywood, and he should make the most of it. Imagine if Scorsese was so afraid of making a bad film he only made 10. We'd have no Goodfellas, Casino, The Departed, you name it. Does he care? Is he crying because New York flopped? Because Silence made no money? No, he moves on. He's hungry. He's talked about still having so many stories to tell and no time to tell it because he's so old. And Quentin's the opposite. He's stopping himself making movies, even though it seems he has a lot of cool ideas. Spielberg would have never made Jurassic Park or Saving Private Ryan if he stopped at 10. Christopher Nolan wouldn't be an Oscar winner today if he stopped at 10. In fact, he's a great example. Many consider his recent film Tenet to be his worst movie, and he then goes and follows it up with the Best Picture winner Oppenheimer. I feel like Tarantino's thinking is becoming affected by this idea of his next film being his last. He's more concerned with the last movie of Quentin Tarantino, and maybe that's why he's dropped The Movie Critic, because now he's being very picky as to what his last movie will be about, and he's overthinking it instead of going out there, having fun and making a movie. And really, nobody's gonna care as much as he himself, so it's all within his own control to be or not to be so anal about his filmography. Do people think of the disappointing family plot when they think of Alfred Hitchcock, which was his final film? Or do they think Psycho, Vertigo? It's the same for Tarantino. He's always going to be remembered for films like Pulp Fiction, even if his next film is a dud.